Good morning, thriving warriors. Today is what? May 10th, 2023. Happy birthday, Wadabi. And here we are in Amargosa on a beautiful morning. The sun is coming up. The light is shining through. The temperature is 54 degrees currently. And the high today is going to be 83, the low of 50. So that's a 33-degree temperature swing once again. And let's see, here we are at Career Services, where our goal is to help you on your journey from someday Isle to Successlandia. We do it through a series of little morsels that you can scoop out of the water, chomp down, and you know the thing. So how do we do it? Well, we do it through this podcast, number one, but more than that, through down below in the description. Please subscribe, click on the bell, share, thumbs up, you know the thing. Through links to other things like the motivational video that we watch to prepare for this. Today was another really good one. Like the link to our online course. This is not the online course, this is the offline course. This is the 30-day neuroscience-oriented approach to success. So we do it through a daily Stoic video, a Jordan Peterson video, I said the motivational video, TED Talk. Today is Simon Sinek, once again talking about how to tell a compelling story. We have Baraka Church, Jack Rowland, David Goggins. We have an Aesop's Fable, Seth Godin's blog posting. Let's see, what else? A whole bunch of other stuff. Daily prayer, a whole bunch of stuff down below. This is just the first morsel. There are about 17 morsels down below, which is where the real nutrition is. The real value is in the stuff down below, not this. This is just to get you started. Also, today, Wednesday, this is our Zoom Bible class. The link to that is also down below. Everyone is invited, and the readings that we will be reviewing on that. So that's Dennis Thornton coming to us live from from Texas. So cool. Good on that. Let's get started. How do we normally start? We start with our coffee. And I have a French press here from IKEA, from the Swedish store IKEA. Who knew the Swedish store would be good at making inexpensive French presses? Coffee. Good cracker. Forgot the MCT oil. Coffee. Next, our little bit of coffee, pen, book to write. Because it's not enough to be a passive observer. We need to take notes on the things we remember. All right. Notice Todd is not here again. Next little morsel. Advice from an 80-year-old. Whistle. Yes, whistle. Make you feel better. Cool. Next, our attitude of gratitude. Write in your book, I'm so happy and grateful now that blank. And then ask yourself, what are you so happy and grateful for? What am I so happy and grateful for right now? Well, number one, Sophie's 20th birthday. That's good. That's cool. Thinking back 20 years to 2003. Yeah, good year. Good year. A lot of things happening. Think back to then. Meeting today at Rainman at 8 with Kevin Romney, our real estate partner, and Joe, to look at that, and to dash back over here to impress him with what we're doing here and the things that we need to do here. So that's important. Then we have an 11 o'clock Maybe Charlene can start going there for me if she's not too busy. At the food bank, if anybody there wants to go to Charlene to the food bank, that's cool. But there is an affordable housing committee meeting at the Methodist Church at 11. And the Methodist Church is sending us a guy this afternoon who's going in room 8. So a lot of things happening today. All right, and our Zoom call, so we have to get going at 6:01. Anyone else out there? No Greg, no Jeff, no Todd. No surprise there. Let's see. All right, next, Seth, let's see, our TED Talk. This is week 3, day 3. So we have our metaphorical virtual boat that's going to take us from someday Isle across the predictably unpredictable and often dangerous and deadly seas to a place called Success Landia, where we kind of have an idea of where it is. Second star to the right, halfway on till who knows when. Depends on our navigation skills and the quality of our boat and our crew. So to get there, we have to build a boat and get people to crew the boat because it's too far to do it, too hard to do it alone. Not possible, impossible, not worth trying. So, week 1, overview and orientation. What is Someday Isle? Where is Success Landia? How do we get there? What is this ocean type of thing? We need to build a boat. Huh? What's that? We need to get a crew. What's that? We need to not sink the ship or go off course into oblivion. Okay, so week 1, overview and orientation. Week 2, last week, was how to build the boat, building the boat. We have 4 main parts for a boat: the sails, the rudder, the below deck, and the hull. Those are the 4 main components that we care about regarding the boat. There's a million details, but the sails are like the physical part of our program, fitness and health. Without good sails, your boat isn't going to make it. Without a good body taking care of yourself, you're not going to make it. Also, the rudder is like the mental part of our program, learning, remembering, communicating. If you can't steer your ship to Success Landia, if you're dependent upon the current and the wind, you will probably almost certainly not get there, and you'll most likely get dashed upon the rocks, thrown off course, just going around in circles, floating, being rudderless. The below deck is the emotional part of our program. And on a ship, that's the place that's safe and warm, the place that keeps you out of the elements, so you're not in the wind, the sun, and the rain, and the cold, and the heat all day long. You can go down below where you're safe and warm, where you can have food, where you can store your cargo and your treasures. And then finally, the hull of the ship is the spiritual part of our program. The hull is the most important part, because if everything else works and the hull is breached, you've got a hole in it, you are going down. If, on the other hand, everything else breaks, but the hole is there, you can keep going, praying that somebody's going to come along and rescue you. So that's the spiritual part, and that is the belief that Jesus is the Messiah. We live in a Christian world, and so even if you are not a Christian, it's good to understand this information because it will help you navigate through the world. Okay, wow. Where are we in terms of time? 5:43. Uh-oh. Okay, 8:59. Okay, good. All right, next, Seth Godin. Choosing your pacemaker. Roger Bannister ran a 4-minute mile by having a relay race of pace runners next to him. If he could keep up with his pacer, he'd finish the race in record time. If you work in an office where people are regularly shipping breakthrough work, it's likely your work will ship as well. If you're in an industry or a zip code where entrepreneurs regularly build and fund businesses of scale, it's more likely you will too. That's one benefit of growing up in many parts of Italy. They're so beautiful and people have accomplished stuff before. The pacing team isn't an accident, it's a choice. Just because it's slow or too fast or too brutal or too senseless around here doesn't mean it has to stay that way, or that you have to stay around either. Correct. And we try to set a very fast pace so that when you leave this place, this is not the place you go to, it is the place you go from, that everything else is easier. All right. All right. Thank you, Seth Godin. Moving right along to our fable, the porcupine and the snakes. A porcupine was looking for a good home. At last, he found a little sheltered cave where lived a family of snakes. He asked them to let him share the cave with them, and the snakes kindly consented. The snakes soon wished they had not given him permission to stay. His sharp quills pricked them at every turn, and at last they politely asked him to leave. "I am very satisfied, thank you," said the porcupine. "I intend to stay right here." And with that, he politely escorted the snakes out of doors, and to save their skins, the snakes had to look for another home. The Aesop's moral was give a finger and lose a hand. Okay, interesting. Not quite. I guess that's what that means. If you help somebody, you're going to regret it. I don't know. What I say to you, this is a classic example of the fourth law of power. Fairness only occurs between equals. The snakes should have expected this to occur. They were depending upon reciprocity, the generosity of the porcupine. Hey, we let you in, now you follow our rules. But fourth law of power is the strong do what they can and the weak suffer what they must. So in this case, the porcupine decided, they can't force me to follow their rules. I will now set the rules. Power is taken. It's not given. Let's see. So the snake should have expected this to occur. It would have been better if they had used the elegant equation, bond, add value, and ask, so that the porcupine, acting in his own self-interest, would want the snakes to be happy. It's easier for us to find you food or whatever the snakes could do to make the porcupine's life easier if the porcupine made their life better. Or they could have waited for the porcupine to leave and then then alter the entrance so that the porcupine could not re-enter. That would be the other way to do it. Okay, moving right along. Prayer, making a difference. Grant, gentle Father, that your Spirit may give us the will and the courage to act to make a difference in order to make real your kingdom among us, so that we may all live together. Or that maybe it should be, so that may we all live together in peace, truth, justice, and love, sharing the resources of the earth. Amen. Okay, making a difference. Grant, gentle Father, that your Spirit give us the will and the courage to act to make a difference in order to make real your kingdom among us, so that we may all live together in peace, truth, justice, and love, sharing the resources of the earth. Amen. Good. Cool. All right. So here we are. Good morning, Greg. Good morning. Good morning to you. Let's see. We are at 1358 in. We've done our prayer. I think we are now at the time 6:10. Yeah, got to get ready to do the other thing. So I guess we are down to Diana's thing. And Diana, it's your turn. Next little morsel along the way. How do we get from point A to point B? How do we proceed on our journey to Successlandia, leaving Someday Isle, waiting. Okay, well, I'll have to do it myself then. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Kind of a little twist, pivot on the Navy SEAL maxim. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. So what does that mean? That means get a little bit more comfortable being uncomfortable, embrace the suck, service to others, act such that everything you do has meaning. Try to push yourself just a little bit more today. You don't have to kill yourself. There we go. Diana's there. No, you don't have to go cuckoo luku. Just act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Press yourself. Don't look for comfort, etc. So next and lastly, Charlene there, can you tie in on the last little morsel, trying to get it out of the water, trying to scoop it out of the water? Charlene, yes, thank you. If you're still here, God isn't through with you yet. You have things to do. Right. The journey is over when our hearts stop beating. When we stop breathing, that's when the journey is over. Until then, make the most of it. Seek success, money times meaning and purpose, where meaning is to act such that everything you do matters, and purpose is to give service to others. And from a neuroscience point of view perspective, you will release oxytocin, serotonin, you'll have an angel's cocktail, you'll feel better. And then you'll want to go exercise and take care of yourself and release endorphins. And once again, you'll feel better. But now can I get an and cut so we can put another one in there? Oh, new website, people. It's in the link down below. New website. It's not done. Yeah, I know it's not done. There's a million things wrong with it. I already know that. Please don't tell me that there are things that are not right with it. I know that. Use it as you will. And shalom and cut.